Hello, my great and wonderful people. We welcome you once again to our today's episode of this program. And today we get this message for our table when we receive from this Amalgamated Union of Foodstuffs and Dealers of Cattle for inside this country, Nigeria. This one of the message when that they sent across to the federal government of Nigeria and also to remember Nigerians the promises when the federal government of this country made to them. And the title of this one tells say Nigerian government said they agreed to pay us 4.75 billion naira compensation for NSAS and also Shasha losses when they made to the northern food and cattle dealers. This very news reached our table March 4th, 2020. Before we go ahead to read out the full content of this news, in case today on the first day when we see the hear about us on the channel, but this we say you are highly welcome. I beg make you not forget to help us hit that subscribe button and also the small bell when we see the near so that anytime when we say we bring a new update, you know what the suffer to look for now, it will only come to you like a message. And our prayer remember say they say we want to be say to the supporters of the channel. Now they say we want God with the same people when we support you for everything when you good when you put your hands to do in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. With that, we not waste any of our time. Maybe we just do 1 or 2 readings, then we will conclude together for the comment session. And as we put our hand there for inside this matter, the make us understand, say, the Amalgamated Union for Foodstuffs and also cattle dealers for inside this country, Nigeria, when they call AUFCDN, they claim, say, Nigeria government say it agreed to pay the 4.75 billion naira compensation for the damages when they say their members suffered during the 2020 NSAS protests and also the recent clash when they say it happened between Yoruba and Hausa communities for Oyo State. And still on top of the matter, the Comicus understands that the union on Wednesday they suspend foodstuff when they from the northern part of Nigeria they enter the southern part of Nigeria. And again, the contour say AUFCDN president when he say Inena Muhammad Tahi, he talked this very word for Abuja after the meeting when he say they hold with the federal authorities when Kogi State governor when Inem Yahaya Bello represent them. And again, the contour say Tahi, he talks say all stakeholders and members of AUFCDN for our nationwide strike say that they glad to achieve what they want to achieve. Since when it be say Kogi State governor when in name na Yahaya Bello take back them on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria and now they don't agree to cut off the nationwide strike today. And again the contour say Tahi he also disclosed to the nation say Aso Rock they agree to ensure the protection of their members. Say make they stop multiple taxation and also intimidation by security agents for the road. And again, the contour say other demands when it be say they present to Yahaya Bello before the government through the chief of staff to the president when it be say in name na Ibrahim Gambari include the protections of the union's members and the ability to withdraw their services from states in case of attack. And for us to conclude this matter, the contour said the union, they started their indefinite strike few days ago when they say that they protest for the loss of lives and properties for the region from insecurity. And again, the contour said the union, they also demand for the payment of 475 billion naira compensation for the lives of members and properties when they say they lost during this very period. All right, my great and wonderful people. Now, only this one we take from this news when we say we receive from this Amalgamated Union of Foodstuffs and also cattle dealers for inside this country, Nigeria. When we say that they review the promises when we say this federal government made to them to pay them 475 billion naira compensation for the something when they say it happened during NSAS protests and also this Shasha market problem when they say it happened few weeks ago now in be this very one. And before we leave, we make una share una opinion with us for the comment section. It's not that funny to us say we they see all these things because we don't see many and many of this kind of thing when it be say, yes, our budget money, Nigeria budget money, now few people that they use and they settle for inside this very country. I think the other day, they make negotiation of about 200 million naira when it be say they want to do amnesty for bandits, when it be say they keep people on daily basis. And not be the one when it be say they don't give to this repentant Boko Haram or few months ago or even last year. We understand everything. This one now the one when it be say it concern only the amalgamated of foodstuff and cattle dealer for inside this country. Now it be this 475 billion naira when it be say the deal when they make with the federal government to pay them for the damages when it be say they happen to them during this NSAS protest when it be say they kill every Nigerians go put them for river when our eye see. But all those ones, they know they talk about those ones. You understand? So the one when it concern Fulani, they talk about them. But the one when it basically concern the southeast and the southwest, they know they can't then join Nigeria issue. Now the matter now in be this very one. Now the reason why be say this country, we not the cause or we not the lay bad word against this country, Nigeria. It go hard for this country to see light. Because if this kind of people, when they say they get this kind of mindset, they lead this country, tell me where we will foresee the way forward for this country. When it be say yes, anybody, when it be say if he carry weapon now, it will carry them for only a few months. Then it will go demand for the federal government of Nigeria to grant the amnesty. And those people must come from the north. They must be Hausa Fulani. If you not be Fulani, I bet make you not go try yourself or else you will see your back for grant. Now the matter now it be this very one. Any Hausa man when it be say yes, they need to negotiate with the federal government of Nigeria of the day. They need to go carry gun for some days. Then they will declare amnesty for them. Now the matter now be this very one. I beg remember, in case you not be Hausa man, not go try yourself. Because if you do, as we talked before, they will declare you terrorist. And you will not say now you that will define the go. The soldiers, when they basically will not sit to fight Boko Haram, they will see and to chase after you. And before we draw the conclusion of this program here, you get this video when they basically I want to live on and make una watch. We will come back for the conclusion.
And I want to ask you a question, again, moving away from Lagos, even moving away from panels. The recent comments, which are today's This Day front cover of the governor of Zamfara State, Mr. Bello Matawalle, saying that if Nigerians knew who was behind the kidnappings, we would all be, our mouths would be agape and what have you. Similar comments were made by his counterparts in Katsina State, Bello Masari. Now, we know that Section 308 of the Constitution does not, even though it confers immunity, it's quite limited, as was tested in court a few times by the late, great Gani Farami. So if there's no legal protection for making these kinds of claims, what nature of protection is there? Because you and I could not publicly make such a statement. The DSS would swoop in immediately. The same DSS that has waded in to the strike with the Cattle Herders Association, they have invited those people. But they have not invited these governors to shed more light into these people terrorizing Nigeria.
Well, I will answer by asking a question. Where is the commander-in-chief? I don't know if you can tell me. Where is the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Well, you have to answer the question yourself.
Dr. Fati, I don't know. My simple answer is that I do not know where the commander-in-chief is. There is a clear lacuna in the presidency. You can't convince me to the contrary. When somebody went to the ballot, this is a man who sought power for 12 years, 2003, 2007, 2011, he wanted to be president by all means. Nigerians gave him a chance in 2015. Despite his failures, the mandate was renewed in 2019. And as of today, we are being ruled by proxy. Gabashewu is the one issuing, offensive statements every day, telling us what the president is saying, as if the president is incapacitated. Where is the president of Nigeria? Because when these governors are saying these things, when some of them pretend to be helpless, or are genuinely helpless, where is the commander-in-chief? We saw our, Air Force men who were involved in the unfortunate air disaster mishap. They were buried. The president was not there. Our troops are being slaughtered in the north. The president is not there at their funeral. When last did the president talk to Nigerians? When last did we see the president grant a media charge? When last did we see the president speak with the victims of these kidnaps? When last did we see the president personally taking responsibility for the killings and the rampage that is going on? So if somebody is telling me that I have a president, I will raise an objection. Because the president that I want should not be a decorative president. It shouldn't be a portrait that, is occasionally brought out for photo ops, just to have some form of proof of life. Why have we lowered the bar? Why have we reduced this responsibility? When governors are making these incendiary comments, the other time you had the governor of Oyo State coming out to say, oh, herdsmen can carry arms. They are justified to carry AK-47. You have the governor of Zamfara State saying, I will still continue to dialogue with bandits, with terrorists. You have the governor of Niger State saying a different thing. What you are seeing is a nation in crisis. It's a nation in peril. It's a nation that is lacking in direction and leadership. And, we keep trying to be politically correct. The reality as that today is that nobody can tell me that I have a commander-in-chief. You cannot be commanding from your bedroom.
Okay.
You have to lead from the front. That was what he promised.
Okay.
He said he will lead from the front.
Okay.
Today he's not even leading from the back.
Okay, I want to quickly get your reaction still as we're extending this matter. Number one will be, I'll come back to Lagos and I'll ask you another national question. Number one will be, what's the state of the Lagos panel now? Because there's been some discordant voice. Ebola Guru is saying this, and that will affect reaching a quorum. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So what's the state of that panel now? And two, what's your reaction to words attributed to the likes of Gumi that says, oh, let's not call them bandits. Let's call them something else. Let's call them probably national treasures.
We have less than 2 minutes to
Less than 2 minutes for that.
Well, the panel is still sitting. I believe they still have quorum. I want to assume so. Let us see what they will come out at the end of the day. On the very insolent and objectionable comment of Gumi, which he made, in your station, I am happy Nigerians have, justifiably derided that very toxic comment. But do not forget that if some other person other than Gumi had made that comment, the State Security Service would have been all over the place looking for that person. But Gumi has not been invited for interrogation. He's even saying don't call them terrorists. He was romancing with them. He's even saying no, that journalists are criminals for calling criminals criminals. That is why I asked the question, are we really a country of serious people? Why has Gumi not been invited for interrogation? When Bishop Kuka raised concerns about the clear nepotism in this regime, we saw how he was attacked. When the former deputy governor of the CBN, Obadia, made a comment, we saw how he was harassed and haunted. Why is Gumi being treated differently? So when you have the SSS arresting somebody for calling for the resignation of the president, the same Buhari that demanded the resignation of Jonathan, it makes the question.
Point well made. Inebe Fiong, we want to thank you for joining us. And if you're still in doubt, you have a commander-in-chief. His name is Muhammadu Buhari, and he's in Aso Rock